Hi everyone, Marissa from the Bird Center here. Today I am going to give you an updated tour of what's going on at the center behind the scenes for the first time since 2023. So if you want, you can go ahead and follow me inside. Right now we're passing our birdio, our outdoor flight cage space for our education birds, including our Baltimore Oriole Clementine. All right, you can follow me. So this is our reception space. New as of last year, we have a built-in aviary for our education birds. You also would have seen our birdio, which is an indoor-outdoor flight cage space that our education ambassadors can use. And we have Clementine and Martha and Ethel, who's hanging out in this area here. In this room, we are busy answering text messages and phone calls, as well as processing new intakes. So we'll usually have someone in here answering phones, updating our database system, etc. Now I'm going to take you kind of further behind the scenes where it's usually staff only, so you can see how we rehabilitate patients at our center. First, we're going to start in our adult room. So this is our adult room. We rehabilitate injured adult patients in here, most commonly caused from window collisions, car collisions, and animal interactions, most often cats. You'll notice that all the enclosures in this room are covered to help reduce stress in our patients, as well as having sound machines on. So we kind of drown out our voices with the sounds of nature. This is our beloved insect closet. So we feed a lot of insects to our patients. In the summer, we go through about 100,000 mealworms a week. So you're looking at almost like 1 million insects to 2 million insects, just in mealworms alone. We also feed crickets, waxworms, and other insects. So all of those guys hang out here where we gut load them and feed them out to our patients. We have our enrichment closet where we utilize all enrichment areas. So we have toys, greenery, mirrors, rocks, stumps, a little bit of everything. Anything we can do to help replicate a bird's natural environment is critical to their rehab. Now I'm taking you into our baby room. It's definitely a lot quieter this time of year. So it's late September when we're filming this. In the middle of baby season, this room was chock full of probably over 100 baby birds. Incubators were all filled up in here, and we had 2 interns constantly in here feeding. Right now we just have a handful of doves and some hummingbirds. In this room, just like the others, the enclosures are covered to prevent any stress from happening, but also to prevent improper imprinting. It's important these birds stay wild, and this allows it to be that way. And every room, especially in our baby room, we have seed charts, all of our feeding timers, and we have patient care information to make it easier for our interns. Next, we're going to head into our intake or med room. This is our medical room. So this is where we're processing and triaging all of our new patients. If a patient comes in injured, we are providing them pain medications and oxygen therapy with these oxygen concentrators right here. In this room, we're also going to be doing additional medical procedures, nothing too crazy, but things like splinting fractures, cleaning wounds, draining air sac ruptures, etc. New since I think the last time we did this tour, we also were able to do x-rays on site. So this is a little staff-only closet, but we have our x-ray machine and DR panel here where we're able to do x-rays on patients to help see where fractures are located, if there is a fracture, etc. We also have expanded our library, so we have tons of literature on avian medicine and wildlife rehab in general. One thing about wildlife rehab is it's so important to continue educating and growing, so we utilize our little library here a lot. We have all of our bandaging, some splinting supplies, and we also are able to do euthanasia on site when it's deemed necessary. So this is our kitchen space. We also have our volunteer wall. So volunteers are the backbone of the Bird Center. We have over 50 active volunteers typically during the summer months, and just many more on and off throughout the year. Our volunteers help with things like enclosure cleanings, providing enrichment, providing food diet, and cleaning dirty sticks and enclosures outside. This is our little volunteer area where you can do your check-ins, learn about birds of the month, and we also ask fun facts and stuff. This is our kitchen space, and this is our flight cage wall. So we've expanded to some additional flight cages since the last time we've done this, and now we have a huge flight cage chart which provides detailed breakdowns of what's going on with the patients in each enclosure outside, as well as our flight cage layout map. Coming soon to spring of 2026, we're going to have an aerial insectivore flight cage. So the next time I'll be doing this video, we're going to have even more, and I'm so excited for it. This kitchen space is primarily all used for the birds. So everything is labeled, as you can see, and everything is filled to the brim for bird vitamins, formulas, seeds, various kitchen supplies that we may need to use to give them those proper diets. Same for this fridge, stocked full of fruits, vegetables, etc., all for our birdies. So this room is our sunroom. We're not going to go in here because there is a bird out. This room is used as a segue before releasing a bird back into the wild or before going into a flight cage. So this room allows birds to kind of acclimate to the outdoor temperatures and the noises that might be associated with that before putting them straight outside or straight into a flight cage. All right, we're gonna head downstairs and we're gonna check out our quarantine room and fledgling room. Shout outs. We love getting cards and shout outs. So this is our newly expanded quarantine room space. In this room, we are able to effectively quarantine birds that have either endoparasites, ectoparasites, or a possible infectious disease. Thankfully, most of these are not transmittable to people, but it's very important that we're isolating and separating these guys so it doesn't spread to the general patient population. In addition for caring for quarantined patients in this room, we're able to run fecals on our patients just like you would a cat or dog. And in this, using these microscopes and the centrifuge, we're able to check and see if they have any endoparasites. We also are in the works and beginning to do more crop swabs and skin cytologies to better diagnose and treat our patients. We also may do necropsies, which are like post-mortem autopsies to figure out what's going on with birds that have passed in our care. All right, so now that we've seen quarantine, we're gonna head into our fledgling room, which right now is currently empty. The acoustics sound really cool, but this room is typically filled with hundreds of fledglings in varying sized enclosures. In this room, they're at their last stage before the flight cage. At this time, they've been with us for probably 4 to 6 weeks and are beginning to show signs of self-feeding. In this room, we'll usually have birds flying around, taking from the wing, like swallows. You'll see we have a lot bigger whiteboard in here, very different than our baby room. So unlike baby birds getting fed just every like 30 minutes in our baby room, we have birds on all timers in here, ranging from 30 minutes to upwards of 2 to 3 hours. We also have this offset space that we've converted into a little indoor flight cage space. This space allows fledgling birds room to fly and get breaks from being in their enclosure, while also allowing to keep them safe from all the other birds and enclosures in this room. All right, now that we've checked out fledgling room and quarantine, we're gonna head outside and show you our flight cages. So this is the back of the bird center property. So this area is off limits to the public due to state and federal regulations. Birds under our care are protected under the Migratory Bird Act. So none of these guys can be displayed to the public. So we're not able to offer in-person tours at the center. But by doing virtual tours like this, we hope to give you a better glimpse as to what rehab entails. We have various flight cages on the property, including our songbird suites. So these are 2 large flight cages with soft release doors. We also have our new cleaning station, which has water sources and water lines available to make cleaning easier. We have our Acker lofts here, which are 3 flight cages. Our hummingbird hostel, which usually features our hummingbird patients. And then further back, we have Blue's Nest and our largest flight cage, the Matthew Mansion. It has 4 large flight cages, which can be expanded into 1 super large one or 2 smaller, etc., using dividable barriers. We also have new water lines throughout the property to make it easier for cleaning and refilling waters throughout all the flight cages. Now following me, I'm going to show you where our newest flight cage is set to be built this fall. So this is where our newest flight cage is going to be built. Not only is it going to be the newest, it's going to be the largest flight cage. So this is going to be a 12-foot by 24-foot flight cage. And in this area, it's going to be serving hundreds of aerial insectivores over the years to come. So in the state of Michigan, we are known for our work with aerial insectivores, which include barn swallows, tree swallows, all the swallows, and chimney swifts. We also will take in nighthawks and kingbirds as well. This flight cage is going to allow us to get them ready to go even sooner by allowing them faster access to flight cages and longer durations in that flight cage prior to release. We're about to go into our pole barn, but before we do that, I want to point out to you our duckling intake station. So this is a new feature of our property, and this intake station has allowed us to take in over 550 young waterfowl this summer, while still protecting our staff and ducks against avian flu. So when a duckling is brought to our center, they are triaged in this intake station and tested for avian flu, or HPAI, in coordination with the MSU diagnostic lab. Once those ducklings test negative, they're then moved into our general pole barn population building, where they are raised until 6 weeks of age and they're fully independent. You can come on and follow me. Okay, this is our pole barn. So it's a little more crowded than last time. We've been working on getting more enclosures and floor pens put in, but we've had some exciting updates. So these are our slightly modified flight cage runs compared to last time. And they've now recently installed new outdoor ponds. So these indoor-outdoor flight cages allow us to raise hundreds of ducklings each summer, and we have 4 of them. Also new to the pole barn this year is we have running water. So we have a huge utility sink now, and we have a drainage out into our septic field. We also have a washer and dryer, which makes things a lot easier. In addition to the additional water features, we've also installed extra outlets, which allows us to best care for our tiny ducklings that still need heat sources. Well, that wraps up this tour today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'm so excited for what's to come for the center in 2027, the next time we do one of these videos. All right, take care, and thanks for helping save songbirds.